What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today, guys, I have Deadwood Jedi on the channel. You cannot guess what actually happened. He challenged me, guys. He challenged me. He challenged Hell Hades. He challenged YST. He challenged Cold Brew. He challenged all of us, okay? And we're here to discuss that. So we have the clan boss draft. If you're out of loop, and I don't know, you've been living under a rock or on the moon or something like that, definitely head over to Deadwood Jedi's channel and check it out. So, Deadwood, do you want to explain us a bit what is all this about?
Yeah, for sure. I've had an idea for a while now, over a year, I would say. And part of it comes from being a sports fan and, doing a lot of fantasy sports and stuff. And I had this great idea, at least I thought it was a great idea, of having a clan boss draft. So you, me, Hell Hades, YST, Cold Brew, we all got into stream the other day, had a lottery to see who was going to pick first, and then we went ahead and drafted 5 champions to be in our clan boss team. And now the goal is to build the best clan boss team who can do the most damage on the test server. So that's kind of what we've been that's something I've been planning actively for a couple months now with Banana Jam over in Plarium, and been thinking about for over a long time, and I'm really excited, and it seems like people are really responding to it, which is awesome. So you guys can actually see the draft live on my YouTube channel. It is up this morning, so you can definitely check that out. But yeah, and this is a lot of fun. There's a lot of theory crafting that goes into it. You got to plan your team, because as we know, when it comes to clan boss, you need all 5 champions to be on the same page in order for it to work, at least for it to work well. And so, this is definitely interesting. The draft was super entertaining. I was shocked at some of the picks. I was surprised at where certain champions went and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's not all, guys. We actually have a team power limit. So I'll be leaving the link to the video in the description below, so you guys can go and check it out, the whole draft and everything. The way it went down. But basically, we're gonna have a team power limit. Now, some of you guys might be already familiar with what we're talking here. Yesterday, I kind of explained you briefly as well to keep an eye on it. But we have a team power limit. You wanna explain a bit the team power limits, Deadwood? Because I know we're kind of going through a bit of a bump right here.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, so we went into this giving everybody a team power limit of 300,000. And the idea behind this is that, my account is very different from YST's account, right? Which is very different from your account, obviously, and from Hell Hades' account, and from Cold Brew. So to kind of balance that, because as we know, champions matter. That's, maybe half the battle, probably not even. But the rest of the battle, the majority of it, I would say, comes down to the gear you put on them. So, that makes a big difference in the team power that you have, right? Not only the options as far as champions go, but also the options as far as gear go. And so I wanted to try and kind of make it, somewhat balanced, somewhat an even playing field. So we settled on having a team power limit. Now, once we got, we did the draft yesterday, and we set the team power limit at 300,000. And then we, everybody got in the lab last night and was like, okay, what can I actually build here? And I know you and me were able to build solid teams with that 300K limit, but it's hard. I was running champions without jewelry.
Same like me, yeah.
Like I had flat stat gloves on. It was real bare bones. But we're both building unkillable teams. Quick spoiler. And so the other guys aren't. They're building full on traditional teams that need 5 champions to be kitted out well in order to have any chance. And they were just struggling. They weren't able to get anything decent at that level. And of course, we all want to have it competitive, right? We want the numbers to be good across the board. I mean, I'm all for an easy win, but it'd be better to have it be nice and tough. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the power limit a little bit. And so basically it's going to be a 350,000 limit for people running traditional teams. And then for me and Skratch running Unkillable, because it is a little bit easier to hit those numbers, we're going to have it at 325,000. So we have a little bit of a handicap, but I don't think it's anything too bad. And I think that 350 is still actually going to be fairly limiting for those traditional teams. When they're having to compete with us, it's going to be still a tough road for them to do.
Yeah.
So that's the power limit right now. Every champion, every team has a certain amount of power, and they give you that number, which literally means nothing in the game and is not very indicative of how good a team is. But that's what we're going to be using. So
especially if they're using empowered champions. You know, like resistance gives you so
Yeah.
much player power, crit rate gives you so much player power, and then all the rest are just adding up to it. So you really want to be careful. That was one of the main reasons, next to the whole idea that everybody's gonna jump on the stronger non-unkillable champions, and I was the last one to pick, so I knew that I'll have no chance in actually building one of those teams by the time I'm gonna get to pick myself. But I knew that if I gotta build a team like that, I need survivability, I need damage, I need everything in order to have a good team and have a shot at winning this, you know. So I was like, yeah, no way I'm doing that, you know, like no way it's gonna happen, because it's gonna be extremely hard to reach the right stats and everything. While
It is. It's going to be tricky. You know, what the interesting thing about having that player power limit, though, is it really penalizes the more advanced your count is, which is kind of the idea. So for someone like you or me who has, you know, I know your Great Hall is completely max. Mine isn't max, but what I do have max is resistance and crit damage. The two things that matter as far as player power goes, right? So for us, it's going to be a lot harder to stay under that cap. For someone like YST, who has a very advanced Great Hall, actually, he's showing it today on stream. It's very advanced. It's all gold. But what he doesn't have max is resistance. And what he doesn't have max is crit damage across the board, right? So he has some areas where his team isn't going to hit those power level caps, but could probably still do, you know, as much damage, maybe even more than the rest of us because of that. So it helps to balance it out, I think, in a good way, ironically, in a kind of a nice little way. So, you know, I don't have empowered champions, so that's a little bit of a nerf on my account, but because of the player power limit, it helps balance that out a lot too, because, you know, it wouldn't be fair if we were, you know, going +4 ninja versus, you know, my unempowered champions. So we wanted to balance that out a little bit here. And I think this kind of works. You know, it's not a perfect system, but it's a solid system. It'll work for now, at least. We can revisit it once the draft's over and see maybe there's a little tweaking we can do depending on the account or something.
Yeah, honestly, talking about empowered champions, right? Like, I would only want to use empowered champions if I can have them at +4. So, as an idea, if I could make my Sir Nicholas +2, +3, right? I won't be using... Yeah. I don't want to do that. I still want to keep him at +nothing, because I can use glyphs. I can use glyphs to gain that 20 extra HP that I need, because that's the only thing that's actually going to benefit me from him being empowered. The 20% HP which I can gain from glyphs, and it's not going to be that game changing on the board when I'm looking at total damage. It's not like he's going to do 20 million more damage for me because of it. So I actually prefer to don't have them empowered, so I don't gain all that 20, 30, 40, 50 resistance from it, which is huge, guys. Like, 10 resistance is actually 1000 power, right? So that's huge. Imagine having 5000 power for 50 resistance because your champion is empowered, but it doesn't benefit you at all, you know? Plus the rest of the stats, defense, attack, which some champions don't need. So let's talk a bit about my team or your team. What do you want to talk about?
I think you wanted to talk about my team. I think that's why we're here today.
Absolutely.
And then yeah. So I mean, you know, I'm comfortable talking about whatever, as always. But yeah, why don't we talk about my team, and then you know, people can head over to my channel and we can talk about your team.
Absolutely.
After this.
I'm gonna do an edit here. So let's jump a bit and talk about your team, Deadwood Jedi, because you have a very interesting combination that actually I'm a bit worried, right? So thinking about your team, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit worried, right? So I'm caught off guard. Which, by the way, if you guys are curious about my team, we're gonna have a video on Deadwood Jedi's channel. So you're gonna have to head over and check that out. I'm not sure when he's gonna upload it. Probably it's gonna be tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it'll be the same time as this one, I'm pretty sure.
So
or close.
I'm gonna bring here on the screen, guys, Deadwood Jedi speaks. So he actually started by picking the meta. If he wasn't doing that, I was gonna do it, okay? Or I was gonna get the meta and Seeker directly, no questions asked. But he was a bit faster, so I had to kind of shift around a bit my perception. Then he picked Mashalt because I got Seeker. I'm pretty sure that shifted a bit his idea, right? Or no?
Yes, it did.
It did, yeah.
Definitely. I mean, boy, yeah. The draft was tough, right? I mean, first off, even Demitha was not like a no-brainer pick. I had to think about it. I'll tell you, like when we were, you know, before the draft, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours before the draft, I was pretty much going to go with like Mashald. The Brogni, Krisk, and Mashald were like my top 3. And then I was like, wait, no, I think I can build a team with Demitha. I think I really can do it. I spent all night kind of messing around, seeing if I could build a team with some different champions, right? But in every one of those teams I was playing with, I had Seeker in that team. You know, there is nobody in this game as good at turn meter boost and helping your team get to a 2-1 ratio faster than Seeker. And it makes everything so much easier. When you pick Seeker, that really, I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Like, I knew it was going to happen. But I was really like, that was the one that hurt. That was a pick where I was like, dang it. I can't do what I want to do now. I'm gonna have to get creative with it, you know? Thankfully I had a couple plans in place, but yeah, I thought that was probably one of the best picks in the draft, simply because it one, threw me for a loop, and 2 was going to mess up other people too, right? Easy comps just went out the window when you did that, I thought.
Yeah. And then you went and picked Mashal, right? So I was a bit surprised, but then I wasn't surprised because I knew you were going to go.
I had a backup plan.
You had the backup plan. But that kind of intrigued me a bit, you know? And I remember I asked you, Deadwood, do you have a Turvold? Your next pick, Deadwood Jedi. I'm going to get Turvold. I was definitely expecting at that point for you to either go for Fushan, right? Because you needed that defense down. So I was like, okay, he's going to get Fushan. But what really surprised me was seeing that Runkeeper in there, right? So that really surprised me. That I know he has the thermometer boost, he has the increased attack, the clans, and the heal as well, right? Because he has a heal too. But I completely forgot about all this stuff, right? So you want to explain us a bit like what sort of plans you have with the team, how you're gonna plan to make it work?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, I mean, I can go down through like kind of my thought process even while I was drafting this thing, because you know, I knew that Demitha was going to be, you know, once I had Demitha, I had the top 3 pick, so I'm like, I'm probably going to get her, you know. And so once I did, I was like, okay, now I know what I need is I'm going to need an increased speed champion, I'm going to need a turn meter champion, and then I have two empty slots for DPS. That was my understanding. So when my second pick came up, it was either going to be Mashald or Deacon. And Deacon's great, right? He's like Seeker Light, but brings a decreased defense. So now you don't even need that on your team. So really good champion, would have opened up a lot of possibilities as far as building, but his turn meter boost isn't like crazy high. And I had been playing around with Runekeeper in the calculator a bit, and I knew there was a way to tune with it. I didn't know it then because I actually hadn't played with having Mashald, but I was like, I feel like I can use Runekeeper, and I knew nobody else was going to pick him. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put this one in my back pocket. That's going to be my last pick of the draft. And so that allowed me to take kind of a leap of faith, because I didn't have a tune ready to go, and really try to up the damage of my entire team by taking a Mashald. Because, you know, 2 damage dealers are going to do great numbers, but if I could get a third one in there, now we got something special. Now we can push the envelope a little bit, maybe, you know, break some records here, you know, maybe potentially win this thing. That was the idea. So I went with Mashal because he's just such an amazingly good champion and pairs incredibly well with Turvold. And I knew with that next pick, it was going to be Turvold or it was going to be Ninja. Like I was going to go one way or the other. And it might have been Ninja and I wouldn't have made it work, and I would just had to go back to the drawing board. But I was like, I got to do one of those two with that pick there. And you know, I went with Turvold because he's just easier to tune, and I knew I could make Turvold work. I didn't know if I could make Ninja work, and I didn't want you to have Turvold, so that's kind of why I did that. And then and then Fushan, you know, I needed that speed aura, and there wasn't anybody to replace him. I thought about that pick for a while because we are on the test server, so I can really play with the speeds. And that 24 speed aura is amazingly helpful, but I figured I could probably make the speeds without it. In hindsight, probably not. So it was really good I picked him there. But that was just something, you know, I figured he was an amazing damage dealer, so he was a great choice. But I did consider trying to go a different direction. Actually, can I tell you a quick secret?
Yeah, of course.
I kind of wanted to, the champion I really wanted to take, instead of Turvold, instead of Fushan, was Varl the Destroyer. Because if you guys haven't tried him in Clan Boss yet, dude smacks. He's Ninja Light, basically. Really good champion. Yeah, really good champion. So that was a team. That was kind of my thought process with it. So now what I've got going on with my tune is basically I've got Mashal going at a 2-1 ratio, giving us that increased speed buff, and then I have Demitha extending it. So everybody's gonna have increased speed for the full fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, Turvold and Fushan are just going to hit hard. And then it really comes down to Runekeeper. And the hard part is Runekeeper's turn meter boost is like a 25% turn meter boost. Really nice. But it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So I had to get Runekeeper pretty darn fast. So I got Runekeeper like 278, 280. I've got Demitha, like, she's like 330. She's fast. But Runekeeper's turn meter boosting, giving us that increased attack buff, just like just like Secret would do. Thank you. And he also brings a cleanse. So the amazing thing about this comp I'm building, it's actually affinity friendly. Oh, nice. I have to change the timings if I want to be affinity friendly, but it's affinity friendly. So I'm actually really excited just to show this build off once we're done with the draft anyway, and do a video on that. But as it is, I'm using Runekeeper to cleanse the stun. So we're not taking any stuns either, and it's pretty awesome. So
So I guess you're gonna have him go first every single turn, right? Coming with the cleanse, coming with the the turn meter, give the increased attack. So everybody's gonna be on a 3-to-1 ratio, or just the turn meter boosters.
So the only people on a 3-1 ratio are going to be Runekeeper and Demitha. They're the only ones that need to be on a 3-turn duration, right? Because Mashald has that increased speed buff is on a 2-turn, right? So that helps a lot with the speeds. My Mashald's super slow. My Mashald's like 150 speed. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, really. It's crazy what you can do with the turn meter booster and permanent speed buffs. It's wild how those speeds work. And then Fushan is going to be at a 2-1. Turvold's going to be at a 2-1. So I don't have anything crazy going on with them. But, I have 3 solid damage dealers. We'll have decreased defense and weaken for the full fight. And then, Turvold's going to be hitting hard because he's got all those buffs on him. So, so far, I'm really impressed with what this team can do. I've done a couple tests. Still going to obviously fine tune some things and see where we can really push the numbers. But so far, it's looking really nice.
Definitely. I'm betting on you, honestly, with this team because you have 3 damage dealers. So I'm definitely betting on you with it. But yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think people better not sleep on your team. Like, no spoilers for the other video, but like, you got Ninja. Ninja is insanely good, especially in a fast clan boss team like you have going on here. That's gonna be, I think you're definitely gonna be giving me a run for my money on this one, but We'll see how it goes. You're definitely the person I am most scared about in this competition. Because I mean, everybody watching obviously knows you. They know how good you are with this stuff, and like you're one of the best, clan boss technicians out there as far as like building a team, crafting a team, and more importantly, building champions for those teams. So on top of that, you got great gear, which is obviously really important. So between those two things, I have a feeling I'm not 100% confident that I'm going to win this thing. I think I have a good chance, but I don't know that I'm actually going to win it.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out on when is the final day, when everything is getting revealed.
100% Friday. That's going to be. I live in Los Angeles. I live on the West Coast, so that's 10 a.m. for me. For the most of the world out there, UTC is like universal time, right? So 5 p.m. UTC, that's when we're going to be meeting. So it's going to be 1 p.m. on the East Coast. I think it's 6 p.m. in London, something like that.
Yep.
So we're going to be going live on stream. I was shocked. We had 1,500 people watching this.
Yeah, it was well good. I mean, well good, yeah.
I don't have that many people watching me. I know they all came out here to support you and Cold Brew and Hell Hades, YST, but it was awesome. It was awesome, to see that kind of support for this thing. And everybody seems really stoked about the event, which I anticipated people would like it, but I'm impressed with how much people are really starting to get into this. So I'm expecting a nice big crowd. Should be a lot of fun. We do a lot of trash talk in the when we all stream together.
Absolutely. That's what keeps the crowd happy, so we gotta do it. But
exactly. And plus, you guys better be rooting for Skratch because if he wins, he gets to give away more gems to you guys. So that's definitely going to be,
exactly. We do have
an incentive.
We do have the giveaways as well, guys. So number 1 wins tons of gems and stuff. Number 2 as well. Number 3. So definitely stay tuned for it. I'm not 100. Most probably, actually, we're gonna do the giveaways on Friday. At least if I win, I'm gonna do my giveaway on his channel on Friday. So make sure you guys are there because You're gonna get gems, you're gonna get shards, you're gonna get books, and you're gonna get to have a great time, you know. So
Awesome.
I'll definitely suggest you to be there. And we're gonna slowly wrap it here. But if you guys enjoyed the music you heard in this video, guys, we have that Soundstripe link in the description down below. So make sure you guys head over right now and check them out. Plus, if you use code Skratch, you can get a 15% on checkout on any subscription. What a bargain, right? So we're gonna head over.
Well, Skratch, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're using the wrong code.
No, actually,
you know, people they're supposed to be using.
I was actually gonna say don't use code Deadwood Jedi, use code Skratch. But yeah, guys.
Well played. Well played.
We're gonna wrap it up here, and we're gonna be over to Deadwood Jedi's channel. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for it. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and we'll catch you all soon.